Hey guys, welcome. Doing a show here today, poolside again here, still in South Florida. Going to be talking about the optimal starts at each position for NFL Week 9. I can't believe we're NFL Week 9 already. Going to go through every single position and give you guys the optimal plays at each position. Now again, I'm poolside here, so I'm going to give you guys a quick view here. If you guys are listening in the car, go to the YouTube channel, check it out. You can see here, we got a little waterfall here. Nice setup here. Getting some relaxation here. But again, the fantasy football content does not stop here with the Count Says podcast. So again, optimal plays at each position. And again, drop your questions below. I'm going to answer your starts and sits, as many as I can get to, in the comments below. Drop your comments below, okay? Now, this show is brought to you by Hooters.com. Head on over to Hooters right now or download the app. That's Hooters.com or download the app. Use promo code FFC20. Save $10 on order of 30 or more on takeout or delivery. Try the wings, try the nachos. Hooters.com or download the app. The code you want to use is FFC for Fantasy Football Counselor, FFC20 to save. Go right now, guys. We got a game tonight. Not the most exciting game. We got the Eagles versus the Texans. We kind of know who's going to win there. But again, order some Hooters, guys, for the game tonight. Code FFC20, Hooters.com or download the app right now. All right, optimal plays at each position. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, and again, drop your questions below. Quarterback position, guys. Trevor Lawrence versus Vegas. We're starting with quarterbacks here. Optimal matchup versus Vegas. Lawrence had a 9-pointer last time he played last week, 22 and 25. He's been relatively consistent, though. Lawrence versus Vegas, a great matchup. Rodgers versus Detroit, coming off 2 consistent weeks at around 16 points apiece. Justin Herbert, great matchup versus Atlanta this week. Geno Smith versus Arizona. Andy Dalton. A lot of people ask me, should we stream Andy Dalton? Should we start him? Great matchup versus Baltimore, coming off a 17-pointer and a 33-pointer the week before. Taylor Heineke as well. Great matchup versus Minnesota. You may also want to consider Pat Mahomes versus Tennessee. Kirk Cousins and Kyler Murray. All great matchups at that position. All right, guys? If I didn't mention them, they probably have a difficult matchup. Again, drop your questions below if you have a specific question. Running backs, Miles Sanders, Tyler Algier versus the Chargers. Great matchup versus position. Aaron Jones versus Detroit. Great matchup. Him and Dillon, of course. Great matchup versus Detroit. Eno Benjamin this week. Good matchup versus Seattle. Josh Jacobs versus Jacksonville. And Joe Mixon versus Carolina. All great matchups. Other great matchups include Travis Etienne. He's been on a hot streak. I guess I was wrong about Etienne. Not that I was wrong. It's just that, James Robinson could have been the guy. It's just that Jacksonville didn't like James Robinson. I don't know what to tell you. Swift versus Green Bay, great matchup. Dalvin Cook, good matchup. You may want to consider him, but again, a bit of a risk. David Montgomery, mid-range matchup, not the greatest. And Austin Eckler, also great matchup. Henry and Walker, mid-range matchup. Henry, great matchup last week, crushed it. I would definitely start. I would never sit Derrick Henry. And Kenneth Walker versus Arizona, mid-range matchup, but definitely startable. Wide receivers to start. Josh Palmer gets an opportunity. Keenan Allen still banged up with that hamstring. So Josh Palmer versus Atlanta. Juju, he's been on a hot streak coming off a bye week versus Tennessee. Him and Hardman, great matchups. Lazard, his shoulder's still banged up, but he was practicing. If he sits, definitely Christian Watson has an opportunity to shine. Value in DFS. But definitely Romeo Doubs should be out there for all the snaps either way. Good matchup versus Detroit. Chris Olave, definitely want to consider him versus Baltimore. Justin Jefferson versus Washington. Good matchup. Him and Thielen, great matchup this week. Terry McLaurin versus Minnesota. Now, a lot of people asking about Chase Claypool with Chicago. Is he going to be the wide receiver one? I still think Mooney's going to be the one. In fact, I think this helps Mooney in regards to opening things up more, as Claypool will attract the defenders a little bit more, opening things up for Mooney. I still think Mooney's the one. They got a good matchup versus Miami this week, okay? Guys that have tough matchups, just to let you know, but you definitely don't want to sit them. Definitely start Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, and A.J. Brown. All relatively tough matchups versus the secondary, but you definitely can't sit guys like Stephon Diggs. Definitely want to start him and Hopkins, who's been red hot, and the number one target getter there with Arizona, all right? Tight ends, Zach Ertz, Will Disley, Evan Ingram, Robert Tonyan versus Detroit, Higbee versus Tampa Bay, Gerald Everett, Kyle Pitts, and Travis Kelce must starts this week. based on matchups. Now, I'm going to give you guys some defense streamers, of course. You want to definitely start the Bucks, Patriots, Dolphins, Packers, Ravens, Vikings, Bengals, Lions, and Eagles. Again, let me repeat that. Buccaneers, Patriots, Dolphins, Packers, Ravens, Vikings, Bengals, Lions, and Eagles, all optimal defenses to start this week. Guys, again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Be back from vacation next week. Gonna hit it hard for you guys. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, thumbs up, and again, drop your questions below. And head on over to Hooters.com, FFC20, go order some food today. Use that code FFC20 to save. And order those wings in for the games, guys. It enhances that game watching experience. I'm gonna give you guys one last view here. And I'm out, guys. All right, guys? Subscribe. Back at it hard next week after vacation.